Hi, I'm Matt. I do gear demos and worship guitar tutorials and things of that nature. If you follow my channel, you might have noticed I've been pretty radio silent this year. That's on account of this year being what it is. I'm also in the middle of a move, so this is where I'm crashing right now, not my usual studio. But I thought I would quit stalling and get back into this because none of this looks like it's changing anytime soon. So first video back, I wanted to talk about stacking overdrives. A lot of people will run multiple overdrives and kind of stack one into the other or whatever. I'm not claiming to be an expert, but I thought I would just kind of screw around with these and film the results. So this is a little board I made that's just the 4 overdrives I happen to have access to right now. Part of what made me want to do this video is I noticed it's kind of one from each category of the types of drives I tend to see on worship boards in particular. So I'm going to talk about those for a minute. If you're already an overdrive expert, I'll put the timestamp that you can jump to actually hear the sounds. I'm actually going to put a lot of timestamps in the comments on this video because you may want to jump around. But if you're not a nerd who hangs out in forums all day learning about overdrives, let me do a quick overview of each type. Not to say that those are the only types that exist, just these, in my anecdotal experience, these are the 4 kinds I tend to see on worship boards and this genre that I'm talking about. First is tube screamers, which some incredible percentage of the overdrives that exist are tube screamers. The obvious candidates are the Ibanez, TS9, the Maxon version, which is the same thing. Boss makes this SD1, Electro Harmonix makes the East River drive, and then there's like a billion boutique versions, the JHS Moonshine, some Earthquaker ones. A huge number of overdrives are tube screamer variants of one kind or another. What sets those apart, what makes them unique is they boost the mids of your signal around 750 hertz, I think, and shelve the lows and the highs. So it's really like a mid-focused sound that can be useful in poking out of a mix or can really be not what you're looking for. I'm a little torn on tube screamers. I've landed on this one for now, but I keep buying them and then selling them again. And then the second kind is clones. I see a lot of these. That includes, this is a Electro Harmonix Soul Food, Archer, the Tumnus, the MXR makes the Sugar drive now. And then, of course, the original designer of that circuit is still selling them, I think, as the KTR. Anyway, this is another popular style of drive that is often described as transparent, and I vehemently disagree with that. And a lot of people smarter than I am vehemently disagree with that. They're really not transparent. They boost your mids just in a different place and to a different degree than tube screamers do. But they do let a lot more lows and highs through, which is maybe why they claim to be transparent. And then one of my favorite types of overdrive, and one of the ones I see the most of on worship boards, are blues breakers. This is a JHS Morning Glory, which is one of the most common ones. I used to have a Snouse Black Box, which is another. The King of Tone, Prince of Tone are variants of this. A lot of people make a blues breaker, and every builder kind of puts their own stamp on it, so they're all a little different, or a lot different. But this is a much more transparent kind of drive than either of the other 2 that I've talked about. Kind of a low gain, crunchy, like pretty transparent thing. And then finally, the 4th category I'm considering totally, completely transparent drives. There's only a couple of overdrives that everyone that I've ever read seems to agree are actually transparent. And what that means is that they're not coloring your EQ in an obvious way like a tube screamer does. The Timmy seems to be universally regarded as a transparent drive. I've heard the same thing about the Greer Lightspeed. I haven't played one. Transparent is a buzzword and people get really mad about it, and things that are not get marketed as if they are. The idea behind a transparent drive is that it would just give you more of like your amp and guitar sound. And it has some EQ that you can adjust and dial in and out some things, but it's not modifying the tone of your guitar as much as this is. So the crucial thing to keep in mind when stacking overdrives together is that the last one in the chain is going to be the one that colors the sound the most, that gives you like its character stamped on everything. That's going to be kind of what I'm testing in this video. Is if you run a more open, transparent drive into a more mid boosted drive, this is mainly the one you're going to hear, and this is just going to kind of make it louder and change it a little. Whereas if I do this into this, it's going to stay more open and transparent sounding and just get maybe a little of the mid boost from this one and a gain boost. And then it also makes a really big difference whether your guitar has single coil or humbucker pickups. So I'm going to do both versions. And if it's too long, I'll split this into 2 videos. I'm going to use a Strat for single coil tones and my Les Paul for humbucker tones. And both are going to be on the bridge pickup the whole time because I usually use neck pickup for cleans. So if I'm concerned with stacking overdrives, it's going to be kind of a bridge situation. The amp I'm using here is the Strymon Iridium set to the chime mode. It's going to be the same on all the clips. So here is my highly unscientific drive stacking experiment. So hopefully any of that was useful. I know that it's not super scientifically controlled. I have to adjust the knobs kind of as I'm going and stuff. But if it's useful, I'm glad. And if not, sorry. I'm aiming to make more of these videos soon now that I have somewhat of a video set up here. And hope that helps. Thanks.